Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Anissa Grows. Well, right now I'm not doing a whole lot of growing. It is officially time to start cleaning up for autumn. We had our first frost a little over a week ago, and it has killed off some things like the dahlias and the canna lilies and some of the marigolds and the tender vegetables that were still out, like the zucchini. So that kind of reminded me, I need to get things ready for winter. And I actually have quite a long list. We started out getting ready for winter by preparing some of the garden beds, by planting the cover crops. Another item I need to do is to cut back all the perennials, and you don't have to do this, but we have recently gotten a vole infestation even with our outdoor cat, and keeping all that foliage over the winter will make them want to stay around a little bit more. It's more cover for them during the colder months, so I like to cut them down. And in the wildflower bed, a lot of it's already been cut back. So things like the echinacea and the daisies, and I even like to cut off the iris for the winter. There are still a few more things to be cut back, but it's been nice and they have a few blooms, so I've left them. The one thing that I don't cut back is the grass seen there, because that looks really pretty in the winter and gives a little bit of interest. So cutting back all my perennials and things like that is one of my things on the to-do list. Another one is to dig any tender bulbs or tubers. So like I mentioned, the dahlias need to be dug. If you have gladiolas, if you have canna lilies, tuberoses. I also have something called an Aztec lily, or Sprechia is its scientific name, and those types of things need to be dug and stored for winter. If you do live in a warmer climate, like I know some of you viewers do, you might not have to do that, but in my zone of zone 5, it gets way too cold for those tender roots to stay in the ground, so I need to pull them up. If you live in a colder climate, it's just a reminder for you to pull them up as well. Another thing that you might think of doing is making sure that your trees and bushes and rhododendrons and azaleas get watered in before winter, letting them go to bed with wet feet. Here we didn't have rain for a couple months, so I started watering in my orchard because it was so dry, but then we did get some rain. I might continue to water some of the ones that I didn't get originally in, but we are supposed to get some more rain, so that's good. The reason why you want to water these plants in is it will make them a little bit more stronger for winter and to get through winter a little healthier than they would normally, because that drought really puts a stress on them. And I would include the trees and shrubs that you've planted 3 to 5 years beforehand if you've had a really dry late summer, early fall. But either way, the rhododendrons and the azaleas, and I would say magnolias too, make sure you let them go to bed with wet feet, because that'll keep those buds nice and healthy through the winter, and you'll have less trouble with them not blooming in the spring. And I guess finally I would just do any general cleanup and finish any jobs that need to be done by winter. My husband and I, we started moving our strawberries, and so that's a job we need to finish. In my plant haul, you saw all those plants that I bought. Those needed to be planted, which I did do. I'll show you that in a minute. yeah, so any odd jobs that you need to finish up before the end of the year, make sure you get them done. Because if you're like me, you have the energy to do them now, and if you were to wait 4 to 5 months to do them again, you might not have that ambition to do it later. And it's just good to get things done and wrapped up before you tuck in for winter. All right, over here is where we're putting our new strawberry beds. They're going to be in the old raised beds from our garden, and I'm hoping that this will help alleviate all the weeds coming up like they are in the old bed. A lot of grass and trees and just lots of yucky stuff that was in the ground before we created this bed has come up with a vengeance. And also, these strawberries do need to be moved. It's, I think, their 4th season here, so it's time to create some new beds. So we'll be clearing this out and planting them in these raised beds. We're gonna start with just the 2 for this year, and we'll leave those ones through the fruiting season of next year, and then we'll make some more new plants by, you know, taking runners and rooting them and put it in there. So then there's sort of a rotation going on between the 4. So here I've already planted up some of the strawberries, and I need to finish that here. Now those plants that I bought, most of them, except a couple, has gone in this wildlife hedge. So I will go through and show you where I put them. And actually, to tell you the truth, my parents brought us some plants as well over the last week, which is why I didn't film, because I had family here. So I think there's 3 or 4 plants in here that I didn't buy, but my parents bought for me. So right here is one that they brought. It's a euonymus, excuse me. And this one is called Moonshadow. And I know you see it says non-hardy. It's hardy in my zone. The reason why those stickers are on is because my parents are from Minnesota, and in some of the regions it would not be hardy, like in the northern parts. So just all the stores in Minnesota have to put that on. But I thought this would be really pretty. It's gorgeous. I love that variegation. It looks really neat. And then they also brought 2 of these barberries called Cabernet. And it's a really pretty, I think it's supposed to be kind of bronzy, according to the picture. But it's fall, so the plant's just kind of like, getting ready to go to bed. And then they also brought this barberry, which is Rose Glow. And we have another one of them that we planted in the past. So we did that. And then the next 3 I had actually moved. We had planted them last fall when most of this hedge wasn't here, and they were back further. So this one was about there. So pulled them forward. Planted those there. And then the orange rocket barberry planted here. And when the sun's out, and actually a week ago it looked a lot more beautiful, this red color complemented really well with the red of that oak. So that was really cool, and that'll be really awesome in the future to see in the autumn. And then here's another Cabernet barberry, and then this is that hydrangea, tardiva. So that's where I put all those, and I think it looks really, really cool. I always think things look better in person than in camera. It seems further away in camera, but it does look really neat. Another fabulous job to do before it gets too cold is to collect seeds. So here I have some scabious that needs to be collected. So I'll be doing that along with a lot of other plants like the cosmos over there and marigolds over there. I had tuberoses planted. This is the only one that bloomed, but I do have a bunch of big clumps that need to be dug. And I'm just doing that with a hand tool because I have tulips planted along the edge of the border and I do not want to disturb them or cut them. And as you can see, it's a mighty hefty clump, and I'm going to let this dirt dry a little bit more so I can get more off of it, and then I might just rinse it off because all the dirt's stuck in these crevices, and then dry it and store it for winter. Well, one major thing you should do before winter hits is to mulch your plants. So you can use compost or bark mulch, whatever you like. Compost is going to help put nutrition into the ground for your plants, but bark mulch is fine too. Just make sure that you put a thick layer on to protect those roots and keep those plants healthy through the winter and into the spring. Alright, so those are the things that I do to get ready for winter and the fall. I'd like to know what sort of activities you do. What's your regime to getting ready for winter? I also wanted to say a very heartfelt thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. I think at this point I have 34 subscribers, which is so awesome for me. I just started at the beginning of the year because I thought, hey, I know how to do some gardening stuff and I want to share with you guys and my friends and family as well. And I just wanted to start making some videos. So thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed, and if you're watching this video now and you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe and join this little community of gardening and see what's up. Yeah, so just thank you. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe like I mentioned before, and I'll see you next time. Bye!